Hello students, welcome to the online class started by St. Joseph Academy, Nagar, Ghaziabad. This video is for class 3rd, subject Social Studies, chapter 5, and the topic of the chapter is Concept of Time. This video is prepared by Renu Martin. So students, in this chapter, we will learn how the prehistoric people did their work timely even without having a clock. We will also learn how to measure time and the meaning and uses of timeline. So students, now we will start our chapter 5, concept of time. First of all, we will read the chapter and I will also explain it to you. Prehistoric people did not have any device or clock to know the actual time. They normally began their work with the sunrise and finished it before sunset. They used to sleep when it was dark and the stars came out. So students, as you know, in the ancient time, people were not having any type of clock or device to know the actual time. So they start their work when the sunrise and they finished it before sunset. And at night they knew that when it was dark they had to sleep. The sundial was used by people in early days. It is a device that tells the time of day by the position of the sun. Then, in early days, sundial was used by people. This device tells the time of day by the position of the sun. But it was not useful in cloudy weather or at night because at that time there is no sun. So, the people were not able to use this device in cloudy weather or at night. Then came the time sticks, which were used in India, Tibet, and in some parts of Europe. Then time sticks were invented. They were used in India, Tibet, and in some parts of Europe. The first mechanical clock was developed in Europe at around the start of the 14th century. Then came the pendulum clock, which was designed in 1656. Quartz clocks were made in 1927. Now, atomic clocks have been developed, which are the most accurate timekeeping devices in practical use today. So students, we read in this paragraph that the first mechanical clock, it was developed in 14th century. After that, pendulum clock was designed in 1656, and after that quartz clocks were made in 1927. And now atomic clocks have been developed, which gives us most accurate time. Now the question is how to measure time. So it's very important for everyone to know how we will measure time. The time is measured in seconds, minutes, and hours. The long hand or The minute hand takes 60 minutes to make a complete rotation. The short hand or hour hand takes 12 hours to make a complete rotation. The second hand takes 60 seconds to make a complete rotation. So students, as you know, and you can also see in this picture that there are three hands in clock. There is a long hand which is called minute hand. It takes 60 minutes to complete one rotation. And the another one is a short hand which is called hour hand. It takes 12 hours to make a complete rotation. And the third one is second hand. It takes 60 seconds to make a complete rotation. It is also called seconds hand. Now, there are clocks for the visually challenged. These clocks have displays that can be read by using the sense of touch. Students, as you know, there are many people who are blind. They can't see. So, there are few clocks are discovered that can be read by using the sense of touch. 60 seconds equal to 1 minute. 60 minutes are equal to 1 hour. 24 hours are equal to 1 day. 7 days are equal to 1 week. 4 weeks are equal to 1 month. And 12 months are equal to 1 year. The clock face has only 12 hours. So, the hands go round twice to make 1 day. The tick of a clock is a second. 60 ticks make a minute. 60 minutes make an hour. 24 hours make a day. Telling the time. The day begins with the rising of the sun. It is called morning. It is the time to start our day. We go to school in the morning. Every one of you know very well that our day starts in the morning and we have to get up early in the morning to be on time to school. And we also read that 60 seconds are equal to 1 minute. 60 minutes are equal to 1 hour. 24 hours are equal to 1 day. And 7 days are equal to 1 week from Monday to Sunday. And 4 weeks are equal to 1 month. And 12 months are equal to 1 year. 12 months means January to December. And we also read that our clock face, as you can see in the picture, has only 12 hours. 1 to 12. So, to complete 1 day, the hands go round twice. It means 2 times. The hands have to make a round. The tick of a clock is the second, the small, the thin hand. As you can see, it is second hand. 60 ticks make a minute. This hand just make a tick, and when 60 ticks make 1 minute, and 60 minutes make an hour, and 24 hours make a day. We see around 12 p.m. the sun high up in the sky. And in summers, it's really a very hot time. It shines brightly at this time. The shadows are short at this time. We call it noon. You also wish your parents and teachers good afternoon. It is also called midday. Then gradually the sun seems to set. The light of the sun becomes dim. We call it evening. In evening time, the sun's light becomes dim and it will not be so hot. So that's why you also want to go to park to play in the evening. The sun slowly goes out of sight. When it is dark, we call it night. During night, the moon and stars are seen in the sky. It is the time for dinner and to go to bed. Meaning of timeline. So students, now we will read the meaning of timeline. A timeline is a method of representing a list of events in chronological order. Chronological means arranged in the order in which the events happened. To display a timeline, we can use any time scale in accordance with the subject and data. Timelines tell us what happened, when, and how much time went by between events. Uses of timelines. Now we will read the uses of timelines. The first one is timelines are very useful for understanding the chronology or order of historical, political, economic, and social trends and events. Second, timelines are also used to form an image of time lapses between events, durations, and overlapping of events. Students can trace the dates of birth of their family members on a timeline in chronological order. Timelines are also used to know the chronology of the universe. So students, as we read, we know that timeline is very useful for us. Students, in the last, we will revise the important points of the chapter. In the early days, people did not know time as they did not have any device or clock. The prehistoric people normally begin their work with the sunrise and finish it before sunset. Nowadays, we have clocks and watches to understand the time. Time is measured in hours, minutes, and seconds. The clock face has only 12 hours. Thus, the hands go round twice to make one day. The day starts with sunrise in the morning and ends with sunset in the evening. A timeline is a method of representing a list of events in chronological order. After reading the chapter, now we will start the exercises. The first exercise is multiple choice questions. Choose the correct option to answer the following questions correctly. The first is the sundial tells the time of day. by the position of the dash. The options are moon, sun, stars, and the correct answer is sun. The second is time sticks were used in. The options are India, Tibet, both A and B. And the correct answer is both A and B. It means in India and Tibet both. Lines are useful for displaying. The options are dates of birth and death, historical events, both A and B. And the correct answer is both A and B. It means both dates of birth and death and historical events. The fourth one is clocks for the visually challenged have displays that can be read by using the sense of. The options are smell, touch, hearing, and the answer is touch. Our next exercise is answer the following questions. The first question is, how did prehistoric people work without a clock? And the answer is, the prehistoric people normally begin their work with the sunrise and finish it before sunset. Second question is, how can the visually challenged read about time? And the answer is, for visually challenged, there are special clocks which have spatial display that can read time by using sense of touch. And the third question is, how is a clock useful for us? And the answer is, a clock is useful for us to lead a routine life. The fourth question is, explain the term timeline. What are its uses? And the answer is, a timeline is a method of representing a list of events in chronological order. Uses of timeline. The first is, it is useful for understanding the order of historical, political, economic, and social trends and events. Second is, students can use it to trace the dates of birth of their family members. And the third is, timelines are also used to know the chronology of the universe. Next exercise is, read the following statements and mark right on the true and wrong on the false one. The first one is, the sundial is the latest clock. It is false. The second one is, atomic clocks are the most accurate timekeeping devices. It is correct. True. The third one is, the clock face has 12 hours. It is also correct. True. The fourth one is, the second hand takes 40 seconds to make a complete rotation. It is false. Fill in the blanks. The first is the dash helps us to know time, and the answer is clock. Second, there are dash minutes in an hour, and the answer is 60. Third, we work according to a dash in the school, and the answer is timetable. Fourth, timelines represent a list of dash in chronological order, and the answer is events. Our next exercise is correctly match column A with column B. The first one is prehistoric people begin their work, and the answer is with the sunrise. The second is time sticks were used in, the answer is India and Tibet. The third one is the pendulum clock was designed in, and the answer is 1656. The fourth one is quartz clocks were made in, and the answer is 1927. The next exercise is what do you do at the following time on Sunday? So students, we have to write what we do at the following time on Sunday. The first one is morning. I do exercise and cycling. Second one is afternoon. I study and watch TV. The third one is evening. I play in park with friends. Fourth one is night. I listen stories from my parents. Our last exercise is read the time in the following clocks. Students, as you can see, there are the pictures of clocks. You have to read the correct time in the pictures. In the first clock, the time is 10:30. In the second clock, the time is 6 o'clock. In the third watch, the time is 12:35. And in the fourth clock, the time is 1:30. Students, this is the last of our chapter. I hope that you have read the chapter and also understand it. So now I am going to give you a home assignment. Students, you have to draw a clock in your notebook and also show the minute and hour hands. It is a very simple assignment. You have to draw a clock in your notebook and also show the minute and hour hands. Students, I hope that you understand the chapter, but please read it again and watch the video very carefully. Thank you.